What worked for you guys down the stretch the other night? What allowed y'all to sort of settle in and find your footing on defense, on offense?
I think the biggest thing is just communication. Obviously, I think the lineup that we had out there, I don't know if that lineup had been out there to finish a game before, but I think it's just finding different ways to build our offense based on our defense.
Is there, whenever there's a whole bunch of successful pick and roll action between Steph and Luke, is having De'Aaron on the court, Victor on the court, does that really open things up for secondary actions and pick and rolls and stuff away from they kind of pull, their gravity pulls people away from y'all?
Absolutely. I think the way that Victor's been commanding double teams this season, I think the pressure that Fox can put on the rim, but also the guy who's guarding him, the attention they have to pay to him, definitely opens up the offense and allows us to keep the ball moving and get great shots.
The Warriors in town are just thinking about all the revolutionary basketball players you've played with in your career.
Yeah.
Steph and Dirk for a while, but now Victor. Do you ever just sort of sit back and survey how much basketball history you've kind of had a front row seat for?
Yeah, no, it's been special. I'm definitely extremely blessed, to be in this league for this long, to been a part of great teams, great moments, witness great players, greatness every single night. So definitely something that I'm very appreciative of.
Is there something different you've taken from each of those guys along the way?
Absolutely. I mean, I think you see, all three of them are for sure different, but I think the commonality in all of that is the commitment to the craft. I think wanting to be great, doing it every single night, like I said, having a front row seat to that, has been special.
And they weren't just like all-stars, they were guys that actually changed the game, Steph especially, but Dirk too. Like what?
Yeah, I mean, I was teammates with Dirk, obviously on the tail end. Steph, obviously, 2 MVPs, so he was playing some good basketball, and obviously, Victor is well on his way. So, I think each of them at different stages of their careers, like I said, produce differently. But I think the commitment to the craft, where they're at, what they wanted for Victor's case, what he wants to be, right? It's all in line.
Is there a way to describe how the NBA game was played before Steph Curry and after Steph Curry? Like, is that a delineation that you can?
Well, it's hard. I mean, I think it was a process. When I came to the league in 2012, I mean, teams were playing 2 traditional big men, at the 4 and 5, right? You think about Memphis playing Zebo and Mark, Gasol, that was a real thing. And your position was your position. I mean, I was a small forward. I wasn't venturing into being a power forward. Nowadays it's like, you can have a 6'6" center, in your lineup and play, positionless or small basketball and back and win your games. So I think the game in general has just changed, and obviously Steph, in terms of what he's done for three-point shot, has definitely made it much more popular.
Great players, but also a great coach. And Steve, what did you like working with him? What are his best traits as a coach?
Steve was great. Him and I had a good relationship when I played there, and I think the biggest thing for him was his ability to relate to players. I thought he did a good job, especially coming in as a first-year coach. To be able to talk to guys and relate to guys in a way of which he knew how to get the best out of them.
Harrison, during your time at Golden State, kind of off that note, what was something that Coach Kerr told you maybe, or something that's resonated with you throughout your NBA career?
I think the biggest thing I took away from Steve was probably just the process of the season. How to set manageable goals, to keep yourself accountable, keep yourself engaged, to measure progress on something that's consistent, and how to go from there. And I think that his first year I was able to play 82 games. I was able to kind of have a different lens of how to view performance and how to help the team. I think it's always easy to look at a box score and say, okay, this is how I helped, this is what I did tonight, but just figuring out different ways in your process to just help you just stay balanced. I thought he was great at that for me.